As I was listening to speakers before me, Pradip was actually God sent because I wasn't eating lunch because I was a little intimidated by the speakers because it seems like they have big shoes that I can't fill. But because of you, and of course my team, my mother is here. Mommy. I found solace in knowing that I don't have to fill my shoes with different shoes that others have. Because God gave me perfectly sized shoes to walk in. And I don't have to be afraid. I just have to really be authentic and just stay true to who I am. Thus, tell my story today. I've been hearing people talk about strategies, talk about their successes. And the reason why I got intimidated, because I kind of like have a different trajectory of the topic that I chose. Because instead of celebrating successes, I chose to speak about past mistakes that I've learned from. Because those mistakes are actually the ones who shaped who I am, first, as a person, second, an HR practitioner. Whew, thank you. Thank you for calming my nerves. So with that kickoff, comes a story where I've heard people talk about the what's that we do for the organization, the hows. We've been there, and I know a lot of people here have come to learn about new learnings. But there's a very important thing that we forgot. Why? Simon Sinek inspired me because what he said actually resonated. Why are we in HR? Because we help people. We're not answering the why. We're saying the what's and the hows. Hence, the question and the topic I have today. Why do we do what we do in HR? Why am I in HR? It's easy to get inside the boardroom, but to sustain and to be there for a long time is hard. And unless you know the why and the purpose why we're doing what we're doing, we will not last long. This is my why. I'm here because I love the people. Whether we're speaking in terms of clients, whether we're speaking in terms of leadership, or even the smallest people we sometimes overlook, they make up the organization. We have been aiming to be part of the boardroom when in fact we forget the most important thing. HR is actually the heart of the organization because at the very core of a business, to be successful, is its most important asset, people. We don't have to struggle to be there because as long as there is people in the world, we do have a job. Which leads me back pondering, because I only got to know that I'm going to be speaking last Saturday. And I was telling myself, why am I really in HR? I've been in the HR practice for 17 years. And it kind of like made me forced to introspect. I am in HR because I still remember the day of feeling so much joy that I was able to help someone else. The joy and the fulfillment you get from helping others far outweigh the joy you get from awards. Because that's more long-term. And when we realize how important we are and how important it is to help people, it gives us a sense of what? Purpose and fulfillment. Right? But often than not, we kind of lose one way or the other in this path. When we know our purpose, then it's easy to find the value of the work that we do. This now comes where it doesn't really matter how long hours you invest on the company, because your passion towards the people fuels you to actually work and be better at your craft. To be the best that you can be, because you make or break people, because you are being invited as HR to make hard decisions. Unfortunately, though, somewhere along the way, as I said, I've been here in 17 years, the more I get to do my job, the more I kind of wade towards putting value to the work that I do versus people. People became less and less part of the equation. Why? As HR, we were trained to say, we're not supposed to be emotional. We're not supposed to be feeling. We're not supposed to be subjective. We're supposed to be objective all the time. And when we do those things, unknowingly, we become mechanical, we become automatic, and we lose touch of what's more important, the feeling part of it. Don't get me wrong, it's not always about the feeling, but there has to be a striking balance between the feeling and the work that we do. Nonetheless, it seemed like the more I become more objective, the more people and management found me reliable and competent, thus ending where I'm at now. So I said, maybe these two guiding principles were enough for me to be able to become, from a definition standpoint, successful. Everything was going my way. But in 2012, a tragedy hit my family and me. My son, who's 2.5 years old back then, was diagnosed with autism. He was diagnosed with ADHD and PDD with speech delay. When the doctor was telling me about all these things, I told myself, look, Daisy, you're an HR person. You're not supposed to be emotional. You're just supposed to be very objective. But you know what? There is no amount of being objective that prepares you when you're being told that your youngest son is autistic. That didn't work for me. I was trained to believe that HR cannot refute numbers. But applying that now to a situation in my personal life, I refuse to accept that my son belongs to just another number to the growing autistic children in the country and the world. Being the HR that I am, I tried to inculcate the disciplines that I know by finding solutions. There has to be solutions in autism. But you know what? Tried though I did, there was none. And I speak passionately about this, you know why? Because it hits me to the core. It hits the very heart of who I am today. What used to be a burden, God turned it around to be a blessing. Autism transformed the way I looked at people. When I looked at Josiah, most of you would know autism or autistic children, or even the ones that are adults, don't show their emotions. They don't even have the ability to connect. When I was looking at my son, it made me forcefully reflect on myself. Isn't it that's what I really come across with to people? I do the job that I do mechanically because I've been here over the years, that I forgot that sometimes I don't connect. Because I cannot show emotion. And you know what I realized? If you cannot connect, and if you're so numb, you die inside. Because I wanted so much to actually connect to my son. Please, please, show me who you are inside so that I would know. So the little miracles of emotions that he showed along the way were nuggets of miracles that gave us strength. Another thing that I realized about autism that I applied in HR eventually is that I became more accepting of people. You know how it is in HR, right? When we treat people like, okay, you did something wrong against the policy, ergo, this is your penalty. Similarly, when you see children who are rowdy, automatically we say, you know what? Parents didn't do the right thing of disciplining a child. But we tend to be very judgmental, non-accepting. But who are we to even judge when none of us even know if that child is actually crying for help because that child has special needs? Applying that to our workplace, most of the behavioral problems that we are actually asked the boardroom to solve are actually outcries of help. So in essence, those two guiding principles that I lived by that made me successful, God turned it around through autism and changed the way I now am. After learning what I've learned, you know what? God wasn't finished yet. Because in June 22 of 2016, my son got healed. Supernaturally healed, and he does not even show any trace of autism. Why am I telling you the most vulnerable part of who I am? Because autism as a burden taught me to be a better person, better HR practitioner. Because now, my purpose in HR didn't change. I still love people. But now, I am more mindful and cognizant that when I do my job, I have to have a balance of doing my job, but at the same time, ensuring that the person I deal with, I speak with, I work with, still has a semblance of dignity every time. Let's face it, numbers are okay, but as HR, the hardest thing about our job is letting go of people, especially when we don't accept the fact of the reasons why we had to let go of people. But we can still let go of people without having to hurt them. Sometimes people just need to feel that we empathize. People do not remember whether, sometimes they do, how excellent you are at work. But what do they remember? The simplest act of kindness that somehow touched their lives. Which leads me now to a third guiding principle that was absent before as HR. It does lead to a transformed life. Maybe the person may not have a future in your company because you have to let go. But the fact that you were able to explain why you had to let go of people made a difference. Because now, on the next company that they will have to move over, they can start anew. Lunchtime, I was seeing people that I work with. And you know what? It's gatherings like these that reminds you why we're here. When people come to you and say, you know, Miss Daisy, do you still remember me? You taught me this, you taught me that. Those are moments when others remember, but to you, you were just mechanically doing about your job. We can still be the best HR practitioners, but never lose sight of the fact that people are sociable. People need the feeling to have the feeling of being connected. And that's our job in HR. Because once you're able to do that, you inspire people to make a difference. And when you inspire them to make a difference, you don't have to actually look at people like numbers because they themselves will work their butts out, committed, served, devoted, because they understood why we're doing what you're doing. Because they understood that you care. Let's face it, HR is a thankless job. But why are we still here? Because genuinely, we care. Those are 4 short points that I want to actually look at. But you know what? To me, it's life impacting. I'm able to love the way I love now because God is love. Why? He loved me so much that He healed my son. Made me now to be more open to others. Made me now to be able to love others more. Because in love, you hope, you trust, and you persevere. If there's anything that I am so blessed about, is that I now work for a company where all these guiding principles are actually totally aligned with the company I'm working for and I love. Because in the company, in DSM Manila, we celebrate making a difference.
Actually, yung second baby, fully prepared kami. So, kailangan siyang i-CS. At the same time, nagbi-bleeding siya, continuous bleeding. So, kailangan ng blood transfusion. After niyang ma-deliver na yung baby, dinala na siya sa ICU. Sinabi nga ng mga doctors na ICU na nagkaroon ng cardiac arrest yung misis ko. Dahil nga doon sa blood loss niya, after niya ma-revive, nagkaroon ng heartbeat uli, but nakomatose yung misis ko. Now, based on that experience na nangyari sa buhay namin, anumang bagyo, gaano man siya kalakas, I will shake, I will fall down, but definitely, I will rise up to the challenge.
Two years ago, nagkaroon ako ng major depression.
Sa scholarship kasi namin, historically started 1985, no? Ang idea nito, to help the young people around. Then how we survive, to the help of a lot of people, no, katulad ni Ma'am Arlene.
Every month, nag-spend ako ng 1 weekend sa retreat house. So, tuwing nakikita ko sila na masaya, may mga activities kasi sila doon. So, pinapanood ko sila. Parang nagiging happy din ako na itong mga batang to na tinutulungan ko, parang na-inspire din ako. Malaking tulong sila doon sa pagaling ko sa depression. Hindi pa siya 100%, pero getting better and better every day. Nakaka-smile na ako ulit.
Nagsimula yon nung college ako, yung mga first year. Tapos parang na-invite ako sa isang youth group. And then later on nalaman ko na it's a youth service na regular nilang ginagawa. No, so tini-turn over na yun sa mga bago. So more like sa mga third years, yung mga may iwan doon sa campus. And some of them parang nagagaling pa sa ibang lugar, pumupunta doon. Doon magsisimula ang pagbabago sa next generation. Parang limitado yung pagbabagong magagawa natin. Pero kung yung change na yun, may papakita natin sa mga darating na henerasyon, I think mas maganda pa yung magagawa nila. At the end, parang it's all worth it, no? Parang living a life with with purpose and with reason.
Josiah is my second youngest son. I only have two sons. He was diagnosed with autism when he was 2.5 years old. Josiah not only was autistic, he became violent. He cannot socialize. He will hurt other kids. Josiah, when we went to the US as a family in October 2014, finally spoke. And since then, he started talking. So that to me, I think, led to me, always being an advocate of the same. Accepting Josiah for who he is, openly telling people, started writing blogs about it. We started putting up hugs to show people that the only way to overcome autism is love. It's actually a story of faith.
Happy birthday, Mommy. Happy birthday, Mommy. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
When we started iReach, it was actually a one-time activity lang. When we climbed Mount Pulag at that time, napag-usapan lang namin na, how about if we have to do something different naman when we climb? Doon nakapag-come up kami ng idea to reach out doon sa community. From time to time, I've been doing this one for quite a while. I've been involved in charitable organizations and outreach programs. So, it took me a while para maramdaman na that this is my mission and this is my calling. Later on, I developed my sense of passion for this one, that I really do love what I'm doing.
It is a celebration of our people's contribution to society.
It is our way of empowering them to have the courage to do more and be more.
It shows where everyone fits into the big picture and how what they do becomes part of the change that the world needs.
It is how we support them in their journey towards finding their purpose.
At DSM Manila, it's not just about doing business. We're here to make a difference.
More than the feeling stuff, I do have numbers. From 2015, our attrition was 20. In 2016, it's 16%, and now it's 3. God's grace. In closing, because I guess blessed are those who speak short because they will be invited again. Why do I do what I do? Because I love the people. I love the company. I love my work. And I know that the people I work with now care for me too. Thank you.